cut our princess that bustier, the first thing to do is to get our basic bodies measurements: under bust, waistline, chest line, and shoulder armhole measurement. So I'm taking my shoulder measurement, which is 9.5 plus half inch, that's making it 10, half inch for the joining allowance, so making it 10. I'm cutting for a plus size, so the measurements might look bigger. So I'm getting my armhole measurements. My neck measurement, I'm taking 4.5 inches. Then you take your 1 inch down for shoulder slanting. This one is not showing on the camera. 1 inch down for shoulder slanting, then you connect it. So now you get your armhole measurement. I'm just trying to confirm the 10 inches I took up. So you roll it together. So after doing this, after getting your basic body measurement, your under bust, then you get your bust point, bust palm, as some people call it. I'm using 4.5, but you add your half inch for joining allowance, so that's 5 inches. If you have 3.5, you make it 4 inches. If you have 3 inches, make it 3.5. So you just connect it all the way up 5 inches. So now you get the midpoint of your armhole. I have 10.5. So you get the midpoint. That's it. We are working with that midpoint for the bustier. So the next thing you do is to get 2 inches, and this is not constant. This 2 inches is not constant. Depends on the size of the breast of the measurements you are using. So I'm using a big size, like 40 inches above. So I'm using 2 inches. If you're using like a small size, maybe 30 inches, 35, thereabout, you can use 1.5, but you can still use 2. But this is a big size, so I'm using 2 inches for ease. So you measure your 2 inches on the waistline and on the under bust. Then from the armhole, that midpoint, just connect it down to the point here for your princess dart. I'm just taking 1 inch down from that point, so you can use your curve ruler to make a curve like this. From these 2 inches you measured, just make a curve like this to that 1 inch down. I did not want the shape to point out, so you just connect it like this with your curve ruler. You take 1 inch down from the chest line, then you measure it like this. Also on this midpoint, you measure 1 inch on both sides, that's 2 inches. Then you connect it down to this place too, just to make the dart, the upper dart. You connect it like that. The second side, the second 1 inch you took, you connect it to. You can see our bustier is forming already. So that 2 inches you took, you're going to add it back to your bust circumference measurement. So you take 2 inches, 2 inches, take 1.5 inch if your measurement is not too big. So now I just took 1.5 inch up, because when you cut out, when you're about to join, after cutting out, the measurement at this part is going to reduce. So it's better to take 1.5 inch up like this, then you connect it together. Next thing to do is to take your horizontal measurement. You get your bust measurement divided by 4. Bust divided by 4. Mark it out plus your allowance 1.5 inches. Then the 2 inches we took at this side, 2 inches, you add it back, because if you don't replace your allowance that you borrowed, you're going to have issues when you're about to join. So add your 1.5, then add your 2 inches. For the waist, you take your waist measurement divided by 4. Waist measurement divided by 4 plus these 2 inches you borrowed here, you add your 2 inches back, plus your 1.5 inch allowance, Do the same thing under your under bust. Divide by 4 plus the 2 inches plus your 1.5. Please don't forget your allowance. Even if you are cutting in your pattern, you still add your allowance. After confirming your measurements and adding your allowance, then you just connect them together and we are done. That is how simple it is to cut princess dart bustier. Then you just connect this part to the armhole like that, then you cut out. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe and comment on this video. Thank you.